So welcome back to JCR Garage. It has been a little while since the last video, and in the meantime I kind of got another project car that took about a day out of my schedule, just because I wanted to see if I could get it to start, which I did. There's been a little bit of things happening to the Granada. Of course, this thing has also just come back from the paint shop, having been painted, put back together. Used to be red. You can see it in this video up here. So with putting this thing back together, my new project car that I started working a bit on, and the Granada, well, the Granada took a bit of a back seat, which is not that smart because it's Thursday, and I go back to work on Monday. But today I've gotten quite a bit done. In the last video, I had most of all the things stripped off of the new parts, and today I've been just whittling down that floor section to make it fit, and it's now just in there. I think I have a bit of a kink in the rocker, putting it a bit inwards, because it doesn't quite go all the way down where it's supposed to be on the, well, I can just show you. So, you see here, there's green in there. It hasn't been welded in, it's just been cut flush with here. It's flush here, all the way up here, flush up here, over here. I've got the floor to go here, while the strengthener goes another inch in. Up here, cut it along here, up along the frame rail, up here, over there, and along with here. Now this rocker is coming out, so this is not going to be welded to the rocker. You can see here, it doesn't quite go where it's supposed to, because there's a strengthening plate in here that is touching the inner rocker. So I think the rocker has to come out, but this is not going to be welded to this rocker anyway, so I'm going to get it tacked in all the way along here. I'm also going to have to replace a piece of the frame underneath here. So we'll spot weld it up to about here somewhere. Then get all this in, apart from up here. Replace that section of frame so it's, well, something is holding it here apart from the rocker, because the only thing holding it together now is this spot weld up here, and there's one on the bottom. So we're going to get all that out. See, there is a bit of something there too, not going all the way down because of the rocker. But yeah, this has to come, but yeah, this rocker has to come out after this is in, with the frame replaced, well, repaired. That's not structure, well, it's not from the crash, it's just rust in the frame rail. So I'll have to replace part of the frame rail up there, and then we'll cut, I'm thinking we'll just cut this along here, get the rocker out with the lower part of the wheelhouse, take it to maybe here somewhere, well, just after the rust and the crash damage. Replace the rocker section. As long as I remove the bottom of this, I can just put the rocker on, and I will get it to where I need, you know, for the B-pillar and for the wheelhouse. So get the rocker in, then wheelhouse out, new one in, and when that's done, fender. That just made it sound so easy, but it's not going to be that easy. It's a lot of welding, a lot of cutting and grinding to make things fit, measuring, and yeah, it's a lot of work. But yeah, like I touched on and you saw a little bit of, I have a new project car. It's sitting up here. It's a 1967 Morris 1800. From what I can tell, it has not been registered since 70-something. It's kind of the same story as my Escort, you know, it didn't even turn 10 years old until someone parked it. But it looks really good. It has some rust, the interior is not that good, it's missing a window, dented roof. But I think I could be able to put this thing back together to a working car. So here it is. See, there's a little bit of well, I think it's Bondo actually, there. Wheels turned the wrong way. It's because the front wheels were out of air, well, all wheels were out of air. Engine was sitting on the trailer that brought it here, and it was a bit too much to the side, so it couldn't fit the wheel on the proper way with air in. So I had to turn around to get it off. Fuel can with some hose laying in there just to an electric fuel pump that's just feeding the carb so I could start it and make it run. I have 2 sets of hubcaps, small ones and big ones. And a lot of spiders in here. This I think is the worst of the rust in the floor, at least. This section is really bad. There's probably some on the other side. I've seen some on the rocker. There's a little bit everywhere. I don't have the key for that. I have the key for the ignition. It's a tiny little union key. But that doesn't fit in anything other than the ignition. Of course, I'm missing the indicator on the passenger side. Trunk with an old battery. There's a lot of rust in here too, but it doesn't seem to be many holes. It's a lot of surface rust. Oh, first now I noticed I have a switch here that's stuck. That goes to, I don't actually know what it goes to. Well, yeah, these are the wires for the license plate lights, and then this goes here. There's a little dome light in the trunk. And the hinges are a bit bad. All in all, it looks like a pretty nice straight car. Some rust. Bit of an odd shape. Here's the window that's missing. So, there is a little bit of work to do every here and there. Pretty simple dashboard. Front floors doesn't look that bad. The seats are not that great, especially the driver's seat. That's really bad. Windshield has some damage, but I actually think these are from the inside. So who knows what happened here? Yeah, some trim just falling off. You know, it's a '67 model that's been sitting. It was in a wood. It was in the woods for quite a while until it was dragged out of there. And then it's changed hands a couple of times. Trying to get it to run, trying to figure out what to do with it. And then eventually it had to go away, so it ended up at my place, which seems to be where old derelict cars end up. I have ordered a few parts for it. Tried getting after getting it to run and idle and go like it's supposed to, I tried getting the clutch to work, but the master won't put out any pressure, so I ordered a rebuild kit for the brake and clutch master and the clutch slave. See if I can get that back together, make it move under its own power. The shifter, the whole assembly is kind of dangling in the breeze in here. You can see here, that's the whole thing under the floor and everything is just dangling. Surprisingly enough, you know, there's a battery in this thing now, so turn the key on. Fuel gauge works. That's a turn signal relay. It's actually working both ways. That's odd. Yeah. This thing I think is a bit bent, and it's a bit broken too, so. Charge lamp, that works. Oil pressure lamp, that actually goes out if you crank it. I turned the headlights on, those work. This, it's a lot of spider webs. This, I'm guessing, is the windshield wipers. They don't work, and this, I'm guessing, is a, yeah. I can hear something happening. It's one of those push buttons to pump washer fluid up onto the windscreen. So apparently this is all functioning still. Wipers don't work. Also, oh yeah, floor button. If I turn the headlights on, Now, I'm trying to get this thing to light up, but it's not working. So yeah, it all works, strangely. Temp gauge actually worked too. That's, well, I had it up to the N, and the water pump has such leeway in it. The bearing is just shot in there. I can actually do that to the water pump just from the fan. It's completely worn out, so that's garbage. See, I have a little universal fuel pump, pumping fuel in there. I had the carb out, cleaned that, took the spark plugs out, the old ones, and figured out that it's the same spark plugs that I have in my Aspen Bosch WR and W7 DCs. Just sandblasted them, put them in here because I had a spare set for the Aspen. Clean out the points and check the gap. I ended up frying the wire. It's here for the breakers. I ended up frying that. So I put in a new wire there, and yeah, it's a little bit of doodadery over there to make the battery work. But you know, some things you have to do just to make the car run. So I got some parts ordered for this. Then we'll see what happens with this thing. I think that's going to be it for this time. Thank you very much for watching. You can like, comment, and subscribe down below. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care.